Hi everyone, I'm Sarah O'Connell and welcome back to the Sarah O'Connell Show. Before we get started, please give this video a quick thumbs up and subscribe to help support my channel. Trans Day Visibility is a day to shine a spotlight on all the amazing trans and non-binary people around the world. It's also a day to highlight the discrimination, fear-mongering and violence that many are sadly still subjected to. In the UK, transphobic hate crime reports have quadrupled in the past 5 years. Many are now considering leaving the country because it's become so hostile and unsafe. The government still hasn't banned conversion therapy either. In 2020, over 350 trans people were murdered globally, many of which were black trans women. I know trans people that didn't feel safe to leave their homes long before quarantine. I know people that have been rejected by their families, unable to find employment after transitioning, were bullied where they work, had to wait over 3 years for a doctor's appointment, or were assaulted for simply walking down the street. I know people that have felt suicidal, and too many that have sadly taken their own lives because they felt that the world gave them no other option. But I want to tell all of my amazing, beautiful trans family that there's a lot of people that love you. There's a lot of people that have got your backs and will stand up and will speak out against injustice to ensure that you not only all survive but thrive as you all deserve to. I've invited some more of my friends, all of which are amazing trans allies, to let you know they support you and to let the world know why it's important to be a trans ally every single day. Hi everyone.
Hey, I'm Ben Stiller.
I'm Rosanna Arquette.
I'm Rob Rinder.
I'm Rachel Riley.
I'm Colin Mockery.
This is Lucy Spraggan.
I'm Neil Gaiman.
My name is Jeanette Jennings.
I'm Boyd George.
I'm Zelda Williams.
This is Dan Reynolds of Imagine Dragons.
It's Vicky Guerrero.
Hi, I'm Darren Hayes.
My name is Michelle Collins.
I'm Lou Diamond Phillips.
Liz Winstead here.
My name is Dr. Ange Singh.
I'm Tara Dublin.
This is Daniel Newman.
I'm Sarah Benincasa.
I'm James Acaster.
My name is Jenna Friedman.
Hi, I'm David Arquette.
I'm Sarah KEYWORTH.
Brennan from Wheatus here.
I'm Tina O'Brien-Paul.
I'm Jerry O'Connell. I'm Vicky Michelle.
It's Anthony Costa from the band Blue.
I'm Joe O'Mara from S Club 7.
I'm Ian Hitch Watkins from Steps.
My name is Shannon Watt.
Hi, I'm Steve Gutenberg.
I'm Shafi Korsandi.
I'm Robert Irvine.
I'm Kit Heron.
I'm Ed Solomon.
This is Melissa Peltier.
I'm Julian Bowman.
I'm Ann Terrio.
I'm Sean Kanan.
I'm Ginny Hogan.
I'm Sinthoran Raj.
I'm Madeline Zadis.
I'm Emily Schooley.
I'm John Pavlovitz.
I'm Marcy Bianco.
My name is Angela Rockstar.
I'm Joey Sasso.
I'm Sophie Ross.
I'm Natalia Reagan.
I'm James III.
My name is Cindy Barshap.
I'm Sophia Gad-Nasser.
I'm Vivian Weissman.
I'm Callie Beaton.
I'm Amazon Letty.
I'm Melissa Anelli.
Welcome to the Sarah O'Connell Show.
Hey, I'm Ben Stiller. Welcome to the Sarah O'Connell Show. I just want to say I think it's really important to stand up for the trans community, to be an ally, and to represent those who are transgender and to afford them the same rights, privileges, and dignity that we would give to any of our fellow people. So please be an ally to the trans community.
Hi, I'm Rosanna Arquette, and I want you to know that I'm a trans ally.
And I'm Janie Clayton, and I thank you, allies.
Hello, I'm Rob Rinder, and welcome to the Sarah O'Connell Show. I've been asked to talk about what being an ally means, and it's not a difficult thing. Some people perhaps suggest it is. Anybody can call themselves a supporter. Anybody can say, I stand shoulder to shoulder with the trans communities. Anybody can pretend that they're on the right side of history. But being an ally requires you to do work, to educate yourself, and above all else, to be courageous. Not long ago, I was at an event where a woman stood up. She self-identified as a trans woman. And she said, you know, I was attacked 13 times in one day. It was today, on the way here to this event. That was a wake-up call for me, as I realized now more than ever that I had a personal responsibility to stand not up for, but in front of our trans communities. To remember that it's up to each and every one of us to act with courage, because our trans community are our brothers and our sisters. They are our theys, they are our joys, they are the delightful golden rainbow threads that weave into the beautiful tapestry of our society. So, allyship is about courage. And as the wonderful, beautiful, amazing Maya Angelou said, you can't practice any of the virtues consistently without courage. So, I plan to have the courage today to remind myself always not to stand alongside, not to stand on behalf of anybody, but to remember my role is always to preserve, protect, and to defend not just the freedom, not just the rights, but the delight of our trans communities. Because boy, they're pretty fabulous. All of you are. Lots of love, Sarah O'Connell. I hope you have a good podcast.
Hi, I'm Rachel Riley and welcome to the Sarah O'Connell Show. As someone who's personally experienced identity-based hate, I know what a detrimental effect it can have on your mental health. And I know it can leave you feeling tired and worn down at times. Social media means that each of us can now receive unsolicited messages from whoever chooses to send them, whilst we're safe in our own homes, whilst we're hanging out with our families, or just living our lives. And these messages can be intended to upset or offend us. And they seem to hurt more when we're targeted simply for who we are. Our choices are to call them out, shame the senders, and provoke more reaction from both sides and often make more abuse, which can upset our whole community, or swallow it and try to pretend it didn't happen and try not to let it get to you. Neither option is great, and getting loads of these messages can feel like being nicked by a million paper cuts. But from my experience of trying both methods, the second option is for me the slightly less bad one and gives each nasty message slightly less string and each troll less power. Something that gives me strength and encouragement is private messages of support and public messages of positivity, and not giving trolls messages the light of day. It sometimes feels like the topic of being trans is trending in some form or another almost every day, and by the nature of social media, the most extreme views are amplified and the dialogue surrounding the hashtags looks toxic. I can't imagine how stressful this must be for someone just wanting to live their life like everyone else does, free from hate. I'm proud to follow and support Sarah because she's interesting, she's funny, and she's a lovely human being, and those are what makes someone them. So as a woman, a mother, a feminist, and a small L liberal, I support trans people living their lives however they so choose, loudly or quietly, loving whomever they want to, and doing so with the same rights and protections as everyone else. I don't think we have to agree on everything in this world. I think that's unrealistic, but we can still be respectful and kind in our disagreements and only say things we'd feel comfortable saying directly to someone's face. Treat others as you'd like to be treated yourself, and you're all set. So sending loads of love to the trans community on International Transgender Day of Visibility, and may today be a positive day celebrating your achievements and contributions to society, and today of all days, doing so loudly and proudly. Lots of love.
Hi there, I'm Colin Mockery, international comedy icon, and welcome back to the Sarah O'Connell Show. You know, as the proud father of a trans woman, I'm very happy to do all I can to be a trans ally. It's really very simple. I mean, there's a lot of information out there. If you go to pflag.com or glad.com, you can find out how you can become a trans ally, how you can become a better trans ally. Because, let's face it, sometimes we make mistakes. Best we can do is learn from those mistakes and work on. Because if we're trans allies, we're working towards making the world a more inclusive place. A place where everything is a little more equal across the board. Call out transphobia at work, support when you can, learn as much as you can. Learn, even if you don't understand, to respect. It's just that easy. So I hope you'll all think about this, become trans allies, help in the fight to make this world the place we can all make it. A happy, inclusive place with equality for all. Everyone stay safe.
Hello, welcome back to the Sarah O'Connell Show. This is Lucy Spraggan here. I wanted to tell you that I am and will always be a trans ally. I wanted to say I think it's important to be an ally because, and then I couldn't even think of a reason because it's so obvious. Because everybody deserves the right to live their entire truth and be their true self and be loved and accepted and I believe that with my whole heart, and I will always stand side by side with my trans family, and you always have my love and my support forever and always.
Hello, I'm Neil Gaiman, and welcome to the Sarah O'Connell Show. I have been a trans ally since the mid-80s, when I started meeting trans people and making trans friends. And my friends changed my life. They showed me that the world was not the world that I thought it was. They opened my eyes to all sorts of incredibly cool stuff in literature, in performance, in poetry, in the world. And along the way also taught me an awful lot about how to be an ally, how to listen, and how to talk. And I'm proud to have learned so much from my friends. I would particularly point to the amazing Rachel Pollack, the brilliant Ros Caveney, to Cheryl Morgan, to Caitlin Kinnan, to a host more. Just smart, wonderful people. And of course, to Billy Martin, people who've changed my life. So that's why I wanted to be here, to give a shout out. And to people who aren't trans allies or don't consider themselves trans allies, maybe you just need some trans friends. They're the best ones.
Hi, my name is Jeanette Jennings, and welcome to the Sarah O'Connell Show. I am the very, very proud mom of a transgender girl. Her name is Jazz Jennings. You may or may not know her. We have a show called I Am Jazz. And what many people don't know, because Jazz is 20 now, is many of the hardships that she faced growing up. As a parent, my husband and I were her first allies. All parents of transgender youth are the #1 allies of their children. And if they are not, they should be. Because if they're not going to be the #1 ally, who is? Jazz has had a rough road. She was banned, or I would say expelled, from the playground when she was in preschool. She was banned from bathrooms in elementary school and told that she couldn't use her preferred name. And she was also banned from playing girls soccer from the age of 8 to 11. Jazz had to sit on the sidelines and watch her peers play. She was allowed to practice with them, but when it came to the games, nobody wanted that boy on their team. I'm telling you this because Jazz is just one of many, many, many transgender youth out there who are struggling on a daily basis. This group of children, they are so special and so marginalized at the same time. The discrimination that they face on a daily basis is unheard of. And their biggest bullies are often adults who set parameters and rules. Like right now, they're deciding if kids like Jazz can play on the sports team that they want to. If they identify as a female, they should play on the female team. If they identify as a male, they should play on the male team. And as an ally, I am fighting tooth and nail, not just for Jazz, but for all the transgender youth out there that deserve to be loved and accepted and embraced for who they are. And to parents out there, you need to nurture your children. You need to give them more love than you possibly could give, because if you're not, who's going to do that for you? As a mom, it just breaks my heart to see some of the children out there going through the worst of times. And that is even with parental support. So can you just imagine without parental support how these kids feel? I pride myself on being an ally, but you know what? I'm not anywhere near as strong as the brave children who I admire so much, who grow up to be the most fascinating adults. Transgender people are always smart, artistic, funny, good looking, everything. I think that they are superhuman beings and they deserve allies like you and you, and you. So please, trans day visibility is so important. And I wish it didn't have to be this way, but it is. So love your trans friends, make a trans friend, be an ally. Thank you.
I'm Boy George, and welcome to the Sarah O'Connell Show. I'm Boy George, and I'm a trans ally, and never forget it. I want everyone to be happy, living the most authentic existence that they can ever dream of. That to me is why I sing, why I write, and in a way, all these kind of wonderful things have been such an important part of my life, people that have just influenced me, blown my mind, educated me, turned me on to important things. As I say, we talked earlier about Taboo, and that was like such a surge of sort of creativity and memories about all these incredible people that have shaped and made me into the person I am. And, Sarah, you've become one of them, and that's a beautiful thing. You've taught me some really interesting things, in terms of making it such a personal thing. I think that is, obviously when people know you and they love you, they're much more understanding, right? Anyone that loves you is, unless they've got some kind of terrible fear inside of themselves, that they can't cope with that, which I find difficult to forgive. But I think, in my experience too, anyone that loves me has never really questioned who I am. And, as I say, my mum was like, oh, it wasn't a surprise. My mum used to call me theatrical. It's very theatrical, which was her way of saying I was gay. But yeah, I think that, people that really love you, once you show them who you really are, that kind of gives them the right to love you in a way that they probably couldn't before, because, hiding your own truth is a massive barrier. And I would say, and I'm sure this is true for trans people as well, as a gay person, you are always managing yourself through every situation, every day, especially if you're someone who sort of, you can identify as I don't think that I'm a sort of, I don't know, I wouldn't consider myself what's a typical homosexual, but, I wear makeup, I've got a hat on, I don't hide what I am. I'm not uncomfortable with being gay. I sometimes forget about it a lot. Like, oh, you're that, and it's nice to forget about it, but it's also nice. I've just discovered people are amazing. Human beings can be so awful, and they can be so genius and brilliant and supportive. And, in a way, we're saying the same thing over and over, but you give them the freedom to do that when you say, this is who I am. And this is just who I am, and wow, I wasn't expecting to have this conversation. I'm thrilled.
I knew we'd get to know each other.
I think we have got to know each other.
Hi, I'm Zelda Williams, and this is the Sarah O'Connell Show. Now, when Sarah reached out to me, I thought long and hard about how best I could be of service. And most of the time when people reach out to me, it's for one of two reasons. They're either looking for information on mental health charities, or they like my voice and they find it soothing. So I thought, what better way to be helpful on Trans Day of Visibility than to bring some visibility to some great trans organizations for mental health, while also doing soothing ASMR, in case it actually makes someone else out there feel better or soothes them. I don't know. I've never tried this before, so we're giving it a shot. All right. First up, Trans Lifeline is a peer support service run by trans people for trans people. All of the operators who work for the hotline are transgender. While it started as a service for people in crisis, that is no longer the case. Trans Lifeline still functions as a crisis and suicide prevention hotline. However, it also serves as a space for trans people who just need someone to talk to. Trans Lifeline provides live, one-on-one phone support, as well as large numbers of online resources for transgender and gender questioning individuals. The hotline is open 24 hours a day. So there's one. Let's try number 2. Gender Spectrum is an organization built to create gender-sensitive and inclusive environments for all children and teens. The service is best known for its annual conference and its extensive selection of training and other resources for youth, their families, and the professionals working with them. However, Gender Spectrum also offers online groups for preteens, teens, parents, and caregivers, as well as other family members. Even better, Gender Spectrum offers a Spanish language support group for parents of Latin trans youth. Well, I tried. Sending a big hug to Sarah and to anyone out there who's listening. On Trans Day of Visibility, if you are feeling down, if you need help, please, I urge you, reach out for it. I promise you that there are really wonderful resources out there for you. Bye.
Hello, this is Dan Reynolds of Imagine Dragons. Welcome to the Sarah O'Connell Show. I just wanted to say to all our trans youth, I love you. I celebrate you, not just today, but every day. And I hope that you continue to live your truth. And I hope to see you somewhere around the world and give you a big hug. And yeah, peace and love to all of you.
It's Vicky Guerrero, and welcome to the Sarah O'Connell Show. My opinion of this day is that, and my outreach to everyone else is that we're all created equal, and we are all brothers and sisters, and it takes kindness and good humanity to be able to treat each other with what do we give, we receive. And I think that that's really important, that we are able to accept everyone for their truth and their story, and everyone is battling their own different obstacles that we don't see. And I really think it's important that we see people for the inside first before we judge them on the outside. And that's something that I really try to manifest, whenever I'm creating new relationships, or even old friends that maybe changed their story or how their lifestyle is. It's the friendship inside that counts and not what's outside. So I think that's really important to look at the heart first.
Hi, I'm Darren Hayes, and welcome to the Sarah O'Connell Show. Well, first of all, I have so much empathy, I think, for the trans community, because the trans community was the first community to embrace me in San Francisco. When I moved to San Francisco, my favorite bar was called the Stud Bar. And there used to be a drag night that now has a socially unacceptable name that I can't say anymore. But the people that went there, the performers, and people who identified as everything on the spectrum, but mostly trans, were so kind to me, because I didn't fit into a bubble. I didn't fit into the mold. I didn't look like an Abercrombie and Fitch model. I wasn't like the hot guy in the boy band. I had more in common than, with Edward Scissorhands than I did with like Edward from Twilight. I never considered myself to be the cliche of whatever the beauty norm was. And every community can be like this, but the mainstream gay community at that time, that I didn't feel like there was a place for me. But I would go where the others went. And it was like, get your freak out and just be yourself. And the women that I met there, the souls of these women were so pure. I really hope that this doesn't come off as patronizing, but I just mean in terms of really understanding the authenticity of how it is possible to have one soul that does not match your physical lottery card that you were given. I can only empathize, but it used to break me, because I would meet these women and they would be so 100% distilled female in every sense of the word. And so that we had that respect, because it wasn't even it wasn't even anything to consider. It was, I considered these women to be magical, fucking just magical. And they treated me like I was okay. Like I didn't have to change a thing. There was nothing about me that I had to change. So that to me is something I'll never ever forget. To jump forward to, for example, last week we lost Sophie, who is I hate saying was just incredible pioneer in the music industry in terms of electronic music, a really incredible trans woman, an example of again that the braveness and the boldness, and I don't mean brave like, oh, you're so brave. I mean the braveness of not giving a shit what anyone thought. That was a huge loss. So I think that I mean, my message is obviously you are valid. I see you. I celebrate you. You're so necessary. Like you're so necessary to my life. So necessary. And I think all of us have had advancements, you know, one step forward, a couple of steps back and whatever. And it's all of our responsibility. Whoever's got the speaking stick at the time or whatever. I feel like right now, being just a gay white man, I got a lot of privilege, actually. So I love handing over the microphone, or I love that you asked me that question, and I love being able to speak for anybody who could use the podium more. But I guess the message is, yeah, we all got to just love each other, support each other, recognize that we're all essential. Yeah. Sarah, I got to say, you know what's amazing, and I love this. I almost feel like, I mean, I feel like I probably should apologize that I wasn't aware that you are, you know, trans. But also, I love that well, first of all, I just love that I didn't know, and it doesn't matter, and I just connect with you on such a deep level anyway. Like I support you as a woman, so I really resonated with just you as a woman in broadcasting and just how you treated guests. And I loved that was my in with you, was just like, I really, you know, like, so I don't want to say that it's not relevant, because it's extraordinarily relevant, because the journey, the sacrifice, it just touches me so much, because I realize that all of the values and the things that I've been talking about relate to you in ways that I hadn't even realized were relating to you. Yeah. That they're just my values too. And you are one of those. So you're gonna make me cry, but you're one of those people that made me feel normal. You know, and well, we are, but you know, it's just the trans community in San Francisco was my jam. Like that was just the place where I really felt like, and I'm talking on a deep spiritual level. Like, I think if you had to really look at the soul, and I believe that we choose to come through. And I believe we choose all of the circumstances, because these are lessons, and these are things that we're going to learn. And I believe it is a truly advanced soul that would choose to walk in the shoes. I really, truly do. And so I think that's what I mean when I say, like, when I know I'm in the presence of like greatness, because I think when we're itty baby little souls, we probably just choose vanilla. And by the time we get to the point that you and I have been through, I'm proud. I'm so proud that we've survived, and not just survived, you're thriving. That's just mind blowing. And so the fact that I didn't acknowledge that, I was aware of that, I apologize, but in the same sense, it's sort of irrelevant in that way. It means everything and nothing at the same time. But I understand now why I have this, you have this vibe, because it's just, it's like royal, and I get it.
Hi, my name is Michelle Collins and welcome to the Sarah O'Connell Show. And as a trans ally, I am giving a message of support to the community. I truly believe that everybody should have the right and the freedom to be who they want to be.
Hi, I'm Lou Diamond Phillips, and welcome to the Sarah O'Connell Show. I just wanted to stop by and express my support for the trans community. Now, most of us go through life trying to figure out who we are, how we fit in, what path that we're going to choose. So I applaud and respect the members of the trans community for the bravery and the courage it takes to embrace your authentic selves. Now, I know that these weren't easy decisions to make, and many of you are still facing opposition and hardship. I just want you to know that you are not alone. You have friends and you have allies. You deserve all of the happiness and joy that this life can bring you, living as the person that you were meant to be. So hold your head high and know that there are many of us out here who love you for who you are.
Hi there, Liz Winstead here, and welcome to the Sarah O'Connell Show. I'm here with Mr. Funk, and we're here to say that we are the strongest and proudest trans allies. I can't tell you how much it means to be able to stand with my trans brothers and sisters and my non-binary siblings to say, I see you, I see what you go through, and I got you. Standing up every single day to make sure that paths are cleared, dignity is available, and that self-determination is honored, and that those of us who are cisgender can say, I see you and I value you 100% for who you are. And we should all be doing that. We can do that in so many simple ways. You know, make sure you honor someone's pronouns. Make sure when they say, my pronouns are they, them, or she, her, that you really hear that and honor that. Also honor it by using your own pronouns in your Zoom, in your Twitter, in your email. It all makes a difference in saying we all are on a gender, we're not on a gender binary. So that means how someone identifies should be valued. And I do, and I know, and I see how hard it is and how terrifying this world can be for trans folks, especially trans women of color, the violence. It's up to us to stand up to it and say, I value this person, I value this community, and I'm going to fight with this community and for this community. I want to make sure that people can be honored with the dignity of using the restroom of your choosing, to be able to play sports with your gender, to be able to walk the earth, go to school, go to work, and be able to just radically be yourself. Because apparently in 2021, just asking to simply live your authentic life is a radical notion for some. So until society understands and accepts and embraces and honors all of our trans friends, we got to fight to make sure we get to that point. So I'm so glad that I could speak up. I'm so glad that I get to speak out. And I'm so glad that this wonderful, vibrant community is one that I am actively involved in, and one that is somebody I'm just so thrilled that I can be part of it.
Hi everyone, my name is Dr. Ranj Singh and welcome back to the Sarah O'Connell Show. Now, before we carry on, I just want to say that as a very, very proud member of the LGBTQ+ family and a staunch supporter and ally of my trans friends, I think it's important every now and again to remind ourselves that everybody deserves love, understanding and respect, no matter who they are. And we work better when we're together. We're stronger when we understand each other. And that's why it's hugely important to be an ally wherever we can to each other. The trans community face untold amounts of discrimination, both online, out in the open, in the media, and some of it is very, very toxic and very harmful. And it's not just the job of the trans community to fight that and deal with that. I think us as allies need to make sure we are there to support them, and we are there to stand up for them as well, because everybody deserves love. Everybody deserves understanding. Everybody deserves respect and a right to be who they are. So next time you see transphobia, don't be scared to call it out. Next time your trans friends need a bit of support, lend them a helping hand. And do you know what? Just remind them we're all in this together. We are just like each other, no matter what our journeys are. And maybe with a little bit more love and understanding, we can make this world a slightly better place.
Hi, I'm Tara Dublin. Welcome to the Sarah O'Connell Show. I am a lifelong ally to the LGBTQIA+ community. I was an ally before I knew I was an ally. I feel like I was an ally from the day I was born. I have always felt as a human being, it's our responsibility to be allies to the communities we weren't born into. I wish that more people felt that way. I wish that we could all just see each other and embrace each other and love each other for our differences, in spite of our differences, embracing our differences. And so what I would say, if you are someone who is struggling right now, if you are not living the way you want to be living because you feel you have to hide yourself from the world, you have to hide yourself from your family, you have to hide yourself from everyone, please know that you will be seen. You will be embraced. You will be honored. You will be heard. You will be loved. You will. If you're in a situation right now where you feel like that's impossible, it's not, because nothing is impossible. If you feel invisible, I want you to know that you're not. Your voice is your visibility, and you must use it. As hard as it feels, as scary as it feels. You need to know that you have a community that you haven't even met yet that will embrace you and hold you up and honor you. So I would encourage you all to break out. That's my cats running around, by the way. Break out of this, whatever is holding you back. If you're worried about judgment, if you're worried about anything, there is nothing more beautiful than living truthfully, living authentically, living honestly. And it has to start with you. So when you look in the mirror and you see yourself and you see your authentic, true self, that's what you need the world to see too. And if your immediate community doesn't embrace you, there is a community at large that will. I will. I'll be your mom if your mom rejects you. You can follow me on Twitter at Tara Dublin Rocks. I am always here. I am always listening. I'm also always learning and always embracing new ways to understand each other and new language to incorporate in showing my respect to each other. So your pronoun is important to me. Your story is important to me. Your life is important to me. And hopefully you will find other people who feel similarly. You are not invisible, and you are not alone. Be visible, use your voice, and be loud, and be proud.
Hey you guys, this is Daniel Newman from The Walking Dead. Welcome to the Sarah O'Connell Show. O'Connell. And huge love. And it's just so important that we all are allies for one another, the LGBTQ and trans allies. It's so important, whether it's our family members or our best friends or us personally. We're all equal. We're all going through the roller coasters of life, and it's so important that we're there for one another. I've grown up with trans family and friends. Way back working with Laverne Cox at Coffee Shop in New York City, and just working with so many different LGBTQ shelters and groups, and GLAAD and HRC, and coming to know and become family and best friends with so many incredible human beings. And just seeing the magic and diversity, male, female, female to male, everything in between, everything that people love and identify about themselves. We're all human beings. We're all equal, and it's so important to love yourself exactly how you see yourself, and share that with the world. Share your uniqueness. Share your abundant beauty. So huge love, massive support. I'm so proud of everybody involved in this, and all of my fam out there. Sending huge love to everybody.
Hi everyone, I'm Sarah Benincasa and welcome to the Sarah O'Connell Show. I'm so pleased to be coming at you from New Jersey, not to be confused with Old Jersey, which is a mysterious and wonderful place in the UK where The Sopranos was not actually set, contrary to popular belief. My home is a mess. I hope that's fine with you. I'm so happy to chat with you on Trans Day of Visibility. If you are a trans individual watching, you are loved, you are cared for, you are adored, you are probably a great friend, or you might be a jerk, because you know what? Trans people are people with all the flaws that come with being human in a human body. Now, if you are somebody who wants to share your story today, I absolutely encourage you to do so. If you're somebody who's perhaps a bit shy or a bit more private and you don't want to do that, that's okay as well. But whether you are trans, gender questioning, agender, somewhere else on the gender spectrum, or a cis person like myself, I think it's a fantastic day to experience the work of out trans artists, whether that is through song, through dance, through acting, through creative writing, through radio, whatever it may be. I think experiencing those stories, listening to those stories can open all of us up a bit. And it is through sharing stories with one another and through listening that I believe we are able to become more compassionate, kind, and loving people. That has been how I have unlearned some prejudices. That has been how I have become a less ignorant person. And that work goes on. That's work that I have to engage in every single day. Now, you may be perfectly enlightened already. And even if you are, I think today's a fantastic day to celebrate trans individuals from around the world. So, have a beautiful day. Take good care. And remember, nobody else gets to tell you who you are. You get to say who you are, and you get to be proud of that no matter what other folks may think. Mwah! I hope you have an awesome day.
Hi, I'm James Acaster, and welcome to the Sarah O'Connell Show. I want to wish everybody watching right now a very happy Trans Day of Visibility. Right now, I'm currently recording this the Friday before, and it is a very sunny day. So fingers crossed this weather has carried onto Trans Day Visibility itself, because this is a beautiful day. This is the kind of day you want to walk around and celebrate beautiful people who have the courage to be themselves, be their true selves, and people who love and accept other people who are their true selves as well. That's something that should be celebrated. We should all celebrate that. We should all be aspiring to that as well. So thank you all for all the beauty and all the goodness that you put out into the world. Thank you, Sarah, for asking me to do this video as well. Happy Trans Day of Visibility, everyone. If it's not good weather today, celebrate it anyway, but then wait until it's sunny again and celebrate it again. Celebrate it every day, right? Let's just celebrate it every day, guys. That's what this brave little cis boy says.
Hi, welcome back to the Sarah O'Connell Show. My name is Jenna Friedman. I was a comedian prior to the pandemic. Now I'm just some lady who cuts her own hair. Clearly not very well because it's up. On this day of trans visibility, I just want to thank everybody working on the front lines of this fight and making the world a better place. Hopefully in the near future, the fight for trans equity and justice and equality won't have to be so exhausting. To anyone out there who doesn't support human rights, just know it makes you look really old. You don't need Botox and fillers. Just support trans people. You'll look 30 years younger. To everyone else out there, thank you. To trans people, thank you for being yourselves. making us all better because of it. Thank you for watching Sarah's show. And yeah, have a great day.
Hi, I'm David Arquette, and welcome to the Sarah O'Connell Show. For so long, we've sort of lived in this world where, you know, there's been rules that existed before we, you know, really learned about all these things, you know, and it was, you know, a learning experience for us too. Just, you know, having to call my brother, now my sister, and just understanding, being sensitive to different people's takes on the world and different feelings, different lifestyles, and, you know, different opinions, different ways of feeling whole. And I think we're all learning that. I mean, growing up as a man, we've been taught, you know, a plethora of things that weren't right, and, you know, behaved in ways that weren't appropriate. And now we're learning more about what it means to be a real man, to be understanding, caring, and supportive, and open-minded about all these different changes in the world. And, you know, so it's important just to have an open mind about all these things, and see where different people are coming from, and respect their feelings and opinions.
Hi, I'm Sarah KEYWORTH, and I'm a trans ally, and the reason I'm a trans ally is because I believe that nobody in the world anywhere should be made to look or behave or be anything that they are not, and that makes them feel unhappy and uncomfortable. And I know firsthand how important it is and how special it feels when somebody understands and validates and recognises your gender identity. And gender dysphoria is real, and it's damaging. And if you've never experienced it before, you won't know that, but it is painful. And the cure for it is allyship. It's understanding, it's conversation, it's support, it's having conversations that scare you, that you might not understand, but it is necessary. And so, I'm an ally, and you should be too.
Hi everybody, Brendan from Wheatus here. Welcome to the Sarah O'Connell Show, and happy Trans Day of Visibility, everybody. We're just here to show support for and to pledge our allegiance to the trans community. It's important to us now more than ever to let people know where we stand on these issues, and where we stand is that trans rights are human rights. We've come a little way on this, but the simple fact is that trans people are still some of the most vulnerable in our society, and we here at Wheatus are offering full dirtbag love and alliance with the trans community during these strange times and for all times. Identity is a complicated issue as it is, without the myriad exclusion and bias that society is capable of inflicting. As a cis white male, I myself extend this support while acknowledging with enthusiasm that I have a lot to learn from the trans community, and it is our intention to maintain our world, the Wheatus world, as a place where you can safely come and be who you are, and find a welcoming family at all times. I believe that we also need to give trans people a platform to speak, and to then give them our time and our focus, so that we can truly listen and hear what trans people have to say, so that we can learn and grow and evolve together with empathy and solidarity. I think that's the only way that we can do this. So happy Trans Day of Visibility to all of our trans friends, everybody around the world, and a big thank you to Sarah for including us in your television show, your breakthrough, blockbuster, world-shattering, record-breaking, amazing, should have been picked up by the BBC a million years ago, TV show from heaven. Okay. We love you. Bye-bye.
Hi, I'm Tina Bymey Paul, and welcome to the Sarah O'Connell Show. Before I get started with this, I just want to make a small confession. I wasn't always a great trans ally. I tried to be, I guess. Well, I definitely tried to be, but I realized one day that just considering myself a trans ally ally is not really enough. You have to do things, which is always the tricky part. So I started to listen. For a long time I listened, and I learned some things, and I befriended some people, and I did some research. In that research, what really sunk in was a quote by Fannie Lou Hamer, who said, "Nobody's free until we're all free." And I started thinking, what does that really mean if people think that freedom is being the person in charge or on top of the societal ranks? It can't be that that's freedom. That's really just, as I like to say, oppressor cosplay. Just wanting to be the top dog is not really getting you anything, especially when it ends up that you find out that there are other dogs topper than you that are still gonna continue to push you down. And a lot of times, with us not realizing that our oppression is related, we don't come together outside the communities that we're used to in that quest for freedom. So I realized that there are really ranks in society. People think of others in terms of how they're different from themselves. And I don't think that should really be. There shouldn't be ranks in society. None of us is better than the other. We're all equally human, which means that we should be equally free and not one at a time and not these people go first and then somebody else gets to be free. We should all be free together now.
Just wanted to say hey to my cousin, mi prima, Sarah Marie O'Connell. I'm Jerry O'Connell. I don't know if we're actually cousins, but we do have the same last name. And just, Sarah does great work with the trans community. We're all trans allies here, and we love you, cousin Sarah.
Hello, hello. I'm Vicky Michelle, and welcome to the Sarah O'Connell Show. Well, today is Trans Day of Visibility, and I just wanted to say I'm a big supporter of the trans community. I've got lots of trans friends, and they are all wonderful, larger than life, a lot of them, always fun to be with. I think that you should be whatever you want to be. No one should dictate to you how you should be or who you should be. Be what makes you happy. That's what's important. Have a fabulous day. You will always have my support. Lots of love. Mwah.
Hello there guys, it's Anthony Costa from the band Blue. Now I just want to say I'm supporting Sarah O'Connell's stand with trans people, because you're one of us. Be tall, be proud, and most importantly, be happy in who you are. I'm so happy to be supporting this. Take care. Lots of love to you all. Bye.
Hi, I'm Jo O'Mara and welcome to the Sarah O'Connell Show. You may remember me from a pop group called S Club 7, and I just wanted to send my love and my support, my admiration and my respect to everybody out there in the trans community. I think that you're all so brave. I think that you are all wonderful, and I think you are all fantastic and brilliant. And I just wanted to send you all a massive kiss and loads of love.
Hi, I'm Ian Hitch Watkins from Steps, and you're watching the Sarah O'Connell Show. You know, everybody has the right to be their authentic self. And that's what we always say about Steps. You know, our concerts are all inclusive, and we want you to live your best life and be your authentic self. There are incredible people that are trailblazing at the moment, you know, for the trans community. You know, you have Angelica Cross, Laverne Cox, you know, MJ Rodriguez. Just, I would say, educate yourself. You know, I've learned so much by watching, you know, trailblazing shows. You know, I was aware of Paris is Burning. You know those classics. Have you seen? There's an incredible documentary called The Queen from the 60s, and you know, it's the original contest, and you have Andy Warhol in the audience watching. But they are, you know, they're old school ones. But more current and mainstream shows like Pause is one. Tales of the City. You've seen Tales of the City? Yeah. I mean, Tales of the City, there was an original production of that in the 80s, which I adored. But I would just say, educate yourself. And just because people disagree with you, it doesn't change the fact that you exist. And you have the right to be your authentic self. And that's why I campaigned for so many years to get visibility on television with Dancing on Ice, and I got turned down and knocked back, and I was so happy that it happened in the end. So yeah, just because people don't agree with your existence doesn't change the fact that you exist.
Hi there, welcome to the Sarah O'Connell Show. My name is Shannon Watts, and I'm the founder of Moms Demand Action, an organization that works on gun violence prevention. In fact, we're the largest gun violence prevention movement in the country. I want to talk about why it's important to be an ally. We know in America about 24 transgender Americans are shot and killed in this country every single year. Most of the victims are Black women. And in fact, if you go all the way back to 2017, nearly 100 transgender Americans have been shot and killed in this country, again, mostly Black women. And so our organization works to disarm hate, to keep guns away from dangerous people. And we are very close to change at a federal level, but also this is not just legislative, it's cultural, it's electoral work. And so that's why it's so important for everyone to be an ally. And one important way to be an ally is to get off the sidelines and to get involved where you live in making a difference, in making a change, and in passing stronger gun laws that will protect transgender Americans.
Hi, I'm Steve Gutenberg, and welcome to the Sarah O'Connell Talk Show. You know, of course, the most important quality that any human being could want is liberty. Liberty. And we are guaranteed liberty by just being born. That is God's guarantee to us. Liberty and freedom. Freedom to be who you want to be, freedom to say what you want to say, freedom to create what you want to create, all within God's laws and man's laws. But the most important liberty we have is control and freedom over yourself and who you love and how you worship and where you work and what you do. Those are all inalienable freedoms. So for the community, which I have known since I'm 17, I came out to California, I was 17, and had a lot of friends in West Hollywood. And in those days, it was much different, much more secretive. And now everybody can hold hands and kiss in the street and love who you want to love. And there are laws pertaining to that, which is just great. So what do I say to the community? I know everybody a long time.
Hello and welcome back to the Sarah O'Connell Show. I'm Shafi Khorsandi, and this is a short message to tell you why I am a trans ally. I'm a trans ally because I see no reason not to be. I am a cis woman. My experiences as a woman are going to be different to a trans woman, but we are women together nonetheless. Trans women are my sisters. I do not feel my rights are being violated by the existence of people who are trans. I do not feel threatened. I don't understand the mysterious reasons when people are. I don't sit comfortably with the idea of let's debate all this, because it smacks of the 80s and the 90s where people used to think it was okay to debate whether or not being gay is natural, whether or not gay people would make good parents. Should they be allowed to adopt? Should they be allowed to get married? How does that impact on heterosexual couples? The existence of trans women impacts me as a cis woman, not a bit. And all the arguments that I see online seem to boil down to, yeah, but would you let your daughter shower with one at the swimming pool? I would not let my daughter shower with any stranger. I'm a trans ally because there is a minority of people in this country right now whose lives are being marred by vitriol and misunderstanding and prejudice. And it's my duty and my privilege, as I say.
Hi, I'm Robert Irvine, and welcome to the Sarah O'Connell Show.
Life can be hard at times, but especially hard for our friends in the trans community. I want to take this moment on Trans Day of Visibility to say to all my trans friends, you are seen, you are heard, you are valid, and you are very well loved. To my cisgendered friends, I want to remind you all that it costs nothing to be kind, to respect other people's pronouns, and to step up and speak out when you hear anti-trans rhetoric or jokes. Allowing bigoted preconceptions about our trans friends to spread unchecked is just one of the things that makes life harder for our trans friends. Each of us has the right to basic dignity as we grow, mature, and become who we were born to be. Let's together spread the word everywhere that we can make that dignity accessible for all. I love you, be well, and whenever things get hard, remember the words that I live by daily. Nothing is impossible. Take care.
Hello, I'm Kit Heron and welcome to the Sarah O'Connell Show. I'm a writer and director working in film and television and comics. I'm here to say that I'm a trans ally. I'm here to listen and support however I can. You have my sword, and big love to you all.
Hi, I'm Ed Solomon. Welcome back to the Sarah O'Connell Show. I'd like to give a quick shout out to not just my friends in the trans community, but also my friends who consider themselves trans allies. What does it take to be a trans ally? Well, what does it take to be a decent fucking human being? It means recognizing that within the phrase trans people is the word people. And that should be self-evident, but it's not. What a lot of trans people are facing right now societally is a kind of discrimination that is 4 times more likely to fall upon them than even other members of the LGBTQ plus community. Why? Because most people on the planet do not identify as knowing a trans person or knowing someone who knows a trans person. And what do we know about what happens when people get to know one that they consider a quote other? They realize that like them, they are people too. Human beings who share the same fears, the same dreams, etc. This has been proven with racism. It's been proven with all sorts of isms. Get to know someone and you realize that you are not alone, they are not alone. We're all brethren, sistren, or whatever phrase you want to use. What can we in the entertainment industry do? I'm a writer, I'm a screenwriter and a television writer. Well, we can help create people that are fictitious characters, fictional human beings that other people can witness and can view, but can see as well-rounded, fully embodied human beings, if we should so choose. That's one way we can help. What can you do? Well, I actually don't know who I'm speaking to. If you're a trans person, know that there are a growing number of us who love you, who care, and who want to know you more. If you're not, and you don't know a trans person, see about seeking one out. Understanding these are people who have gone through a lot. This is not a decision someone comes to lightly. All my trans friends have worked very hard to understand themselves and to make choices that are very, very difficult to make. These are people who, I would say, not only deserve our respect and love, but a special understanding that the things that make us all human are things that we all take for granted, but these people have had to really look at and really work at. For that, I have the most amount of respect and love. Anyway, all the best to all my friends in the communities, trans, LGBTQ, and everything else. Thanks for listening. And again, welcome back to the Sarah O'Connell Show. Thank you.
Hi, this is Melissa Peltier and Franny, and welcome to the Sarah O'Connell Show. I'm really honored that Sarah asked me to speak as a trans ally. The most important thing that we can do, I think, as trans allies, as straight cisgender people, is to listen. And I grew up spending part of my year in a LGBTQ community before that term even existed, Provincetown, Massachusetts. and I now have a house there. And so I grew up knowing that everything, LGBT or Q, are all just other shades of normal. They never felt not normal to me. So I think the best thing to do for us to do, all of us, is to talk with people, listen to people, and try to see the world through their eyes. It's so important because we all are normal and we're all abnormal too, which is wonderful. So let's just be ourselves and live in a world, hopefully, that we can build that allows that. Thank you, Sarah, and have a great week.
Say goodbye, Franny. Bye.
Hi, I'm Julian Warm, and welcome to the Sarah McConnell Show. I'm the director of the Good Law Project, and here in the United Kingdom we're bringing a series of pieces of litigation to protect and indeed to advance the rights of the trans community. I think it's a very important piece of work for us to be doing. I want to stand alongside the trans community because I know what history teaches us. It teaches us that those particularly on the right identify and target and scapegoat vulnerable communities, not because they have any interest in the well-being of those communities, but because they see political advantage for themselves in doing so. History teaches us that if we ignore it is harmful to those communities, but also that there's a ripple effect. They don't stop with the communities they start by targeting. So in the United Kingdom already, we are seeing in the Times pieces working towards calling once again for conversion therapy for the entire LGBT community. That rolling back of rights won for that community over many decades is profoundly troubling, just as it is troubling to see the rights of trans men and women and children being rolled back today. That's why I want to be a trans ally.
Hi, I'm Ann Terrio, and welcome to the Sarah O'Connell Show. I am someone who is very fortunate to have many trans people in my community, members of my family, my friends, and I say fortunate because I personally am very fortunate that they tolerate me because I am a very annoying cis person. I think that one of the first things that allies can do is to recognize the vast array of inequality that trans people face, that the systemic barriers that they face to all kinds of things: education, housing, employment, medical care, stuff that cis people often very much take for granted. I know that I do. And I have seen friends really struggle with that, with maintaining gainful employment, with finding appropriate housing. And it can mean the difference between life and death for anyone. And I think another really important thing that allies can participate in is in making space for trans joy, that making sure that we're not just perpetuating narratives of trauma, painting it as though being trans is nothing but a struggle, because I know that for my friends and family who are trans, their transness brings them a lot of joy. It is very affirming to them, and those narratives sometimes get lost in cis retellings. So, I think we really have to make spaces for trans voices and for their stories of joy. And happy Trans Day of Visibility.
Hi, I'm Sean Kanan. Welcome to the Sarah O'Connell Show. I just believe in affording everybody basic human dignity and giving people the right and the platform to be who it is that they want to be in a safe and encouraging environment. I'm very proud of the show that we tackle some very pertinent social issues. We have that great LGBTQ storyline. We deal with Me Too. We deal with ageism. We deal with characters that have sickness, and we try and deal with a lot of stuff that resonates with people, and we try and do it in a way that we're not beating you over the head. I mean, nobody wants to be preached to, and so I think we do it in a way that's entertaining. I like to say that the show will make you laugh, it'll make you cry, and hopefully walk away thinking about a few things, but I'm just really honored to have someone of Scott Turner Schofield's character and ability be a part of our cast. And you know, while Scott is involved in an LGBTQ storyline, he's not just our LGBTQ actor to fill a hole. He's a terrific actor who is a part of the cast, and I'm looking forward to writing a lot of exciting story for Scott, much of which has nothing to do with LGBTQ. Do you know what I mean? He's just an actor who happens to be a trans man. And I'm very proud of the fact that our show in Scott made history. Scott was the first trans man ever nominated for an Emmy, which makes our show the first show to ever have a trans man nominated for an Emmy. And I couldn't be happier.
Hi, I'm Ginny Hogan and welcome to the Sarah O'Connell Show. I'm speaking to you today from this strange abandoned ballroom that is probably haunted. I'm a trans ally and I just wanted to take this opportunity to express my support for the transgender community. The challenges that are faced by trans people today and the systemic biases against them are unique and pervasive, and it's going to require everyone's dedication if we're going to tackle them. Because honestly, if you're not interested in overthrowing existing power structures, I literally hate you. In today's world, there's nothing more important than being a good ally. Whether it's ensuring that you use someone's correct pronouns or calling your representative to push them to pass legislation that will protect the trans community from discrimination, I would urge you to take action today to show your support. We need everyone's participation to ensure that we can make our world a safe and fair place. I'm proud to be a trans ally and I stand in support of the transgender community. Happy Trans Visibility Day and thank you so much for having me on the show, Sarah.
Hi, I'm Sinthoran Raj and welcome to the Sarah O'Connell Show. I'm recording this video message today as an ally to the trans community because I think it is so vital that cis people speak out against the virulent transphobia that we see, whether on social media or in public or even in our homes and workplaces. Around the world, we're seeing increasing hostility directed against trans and non-binary people, and indeed people who deviate from normative ideas of gender and sexuality. It's so important that we come together now to challenge this hate and work together in solidarity to create communities where all people can thrive, regardless of who they are, regardless of their gender, because everyone should be able to be nurtured and to be able to flourish. So thank you.
Hi, I'm Madeline Zanis, and welcome to the Sarah O'Connell Show. It's International Transgender Day of Visibility, and I'm here to discuss a few things. But first, I have to start off with how very grateful I am for my trans and non-binary friends and colleagues, many who have played major roles in my life in supporting my journey and inspiring me to no end. So you can imagine how I am forever indebted to you for the long haul as a friend and ally of love, support, and action. I am committed to standing up and voicing discrepancies on many levels of support and safety for everyone in the trans community. Because there really is no better opportunity than now to stand up and expedite change. Acceptance of the truth hasn't always been a strong point of this system we've all been submerged into. And there truly is no excuse for how the trans community has been treated societally and systemically for eons. Living in fear and feeling constantly oppressed is not living. It's not a life anyone should live, and unfortunately, the trans community has been put through the worst of it. When I was growing up, trans kids had no one, zero support. My classmates had no education either. And what happens when something is completely misunderstood and miseducated with kids? Unnecessary pain and bullying is inflicted. So all of us, we need to set the record straight with everyone who hasn't been set straight about the facts. There is no room for discrimination of our trans youth and trans adults who are made to live in fear every single day. If you're watching this and haven't seen the stats, look it up. Whenever the opportunity presents itself to challenge misconceptions and educate others, take it. Don't let it pass you by. These are conversations we should all be on the same page about. But let's be absolutely clear. Trans rights are human rights. Lots of love.
Hey, I'm actor and filmmaker Emily Schooley, and you're watching The Sarah O'Connell Show. For Trans Day of Visibility, I want to send a message to all of my beautiful trans siblings out there. I want to let you know that your lives, your identities, your stories, your bodies, your lived experiences, everything about you is so beautiful, so valid, and so very much needed in this world. Please keep living, please keep fighting. I know it's hard. There's many of us like myself who, well, we're not exactly on the same journey that you are. We are here as your allies. We believe in you, we love you, we support you, we're gonna keep fighting for you, and we're walking along beside you on your journey. Stay strong, stay beautiful, stay safe. We love you, and love from Toronto.
Hi, I'm John Pavlovitz, and welcome to the Sarah O'Connell Show. I'm an author, and I've been a pastor in the local church for almost 3 decades. And years ago, I can remember being at a student gathering. We were inviting in hundreds of teenagers from all over the area. And there were 2 students who were standing against the back wall. And I went up to them and asked them some questions and tried to have a conversation. And they didn't really want anything to do with me. I wasn't getting much of a response, and I felt rather deflated. But a couple days later, I received an email from the older of the 2 students, the sister, and she said, "I just wanted to thank you for having a conversation with us. We've had a really bad experience with churches and with Christians, and especially with pastors." And she said, "You made me feel seen that day. You made me feel visible, and I rarely feel visible." And ever since then, I've tried to remember how important it is that we all feel fully seen and fully known and fully loved as we are, without caveat or condition. And so to my transgender friends today, I say that that is my hope for you, that you feel fully seen and fully known and fully loved. And to those of you who are friends and loved ones and supporters of the transgender community, I ask you to be louder about what you believe and about the people that you love and support, because your visibility matters too. So to all my transgender friends out there, please know that I see you and I celebrate you, and you make this world a better place. So please be greatly encouraged today. Peace.
Hi, I'm Marcy Bianco, and welcome to the Sarah O'Connell Show. On this day of trans visibility, I want to tell the trans community that I see you, I respect you, and I value your human worth and dignity. You belong in the LGBTQ community and in the world. And I say this as a lesbian feminist because I want to hold accountable those people who identify as lesbian and feminist, who deny trans people the right to live free, authentic lives. Self-determination is an essential human freedom. It is an essential feminist value. A real feminist not only values her own self-determination, but the self-determination of all people to live freely, to live authentically, to identify how they want to identify. We need to support one another during these times, these crazy times. So if you are a feminist and you find yourself policing someone's gender, pause for a moment. Think about why you are doing this. And again, to the trans community, your lives are valuable. Again, I see you, I respect you, and I value your human worth and dignity. The visibility of the trans community is critical to creating awareness globally about your lives, your stories. These are valued and valuable. So again, sending love from California. Peace out, Sarah.
Hello, my name is Angela Rockstar, and this is the Sarah O'Connell Show. I am so honored and excited to be a part of this video for Trans Day of Visibility. Trans men are men, trans women are women, and trans rights are human rights. To my trans brothers and sisters, you beautiful butterflies, I want you to know that you inspire me. You are so authentic to know exactly who you are versus who society tells you you should be. And to be able to say, I'm not in the right body, and I'm going to put myself in the right body, and then I'm going to live the life that I know that I'm supposed to. I think that's beautiful. I'm going to let you in on a secret, not secret, and tell you most people are terrified of who they really are. And they're really terrified of letting the world see who they are. So never forget that. You are bold and brave and beautiful, and I honor you. I think the best thing we can do as allies is have those uncomfortable conversations with other cis people when our trans friends and brothers and sisters are not around. When there's a joke that's made that's not really a joke and not really funny. When someone is misgendered, that's where we say, no, we're not doing that. Not today, not tomorrow, not here, not never. That's how we take a stand. That's how we have people's backs when no one is around to even know that we're doing it other than the people that we need to take a stand against. That's how you show real love. You stand up for all the world's people. I love you so much. I thank you so much for having me be a part of this, and keep being exactly who you are.
Hi, I'm Joey Sasso. Welcome to the Sarah O'Connell Show. I think, number one, I just say in the most blunt way, if you're not an ally, go fuck yourself. And that's the most honest way I could say it. I don't like to be the guy that's like, if you don't think the way I think, fuck you. But I think it's 2021. Man, like all of my friends who are gay, trans, any part of the spectrum, the stories they've told me, the things they've been through, it's fucking heartbreaking. It's disgusting to me, the amount of people who have been really persecuted against just for being who they are. And I don't mean to get emotional just talking about it. I just have so many friends I love and care about who have been through the ringer in their lives. And it makes me so sick to my stomach that we still live in a world where people judge. And like, a message to all the straight guys out there, the guys who go, faggot, this and that, and say terrible things. If you sat down and talked to someone who was gay, you would realize you probably have more in common with that person than you would ever even fucking realize. Get your head out of your ass. Look at a person for who they are. Stop judging them for who they sleep with, what their sexuality is. Who fucking cares, man? Like, who fucking cares? It's something I'm so passionate about because I've had so many close friends, and this community, these people took me in when I had nothing and I had nobody. And for me to be a guy that most people, when they look at me, wouldn't associate me with feeling that way and being that way, it makes me want to speak up even fucking louder. Like, I'm not a political dude. I don't speak up on politics. That's not my place because I'm not smart in that realm. There are far more better people. But when it comes to the LGBTQ community, man, like, I'll do whatever I can for them. And for anyone right now struggling with your sexuality, whether you're gay, you're trans, especially with Trans Awareness Month coming up, like, man, like, just know you are loved. You are beautiful. No matter what you're going through right now, you will get through it. It's dark times, and there are people there who are the same as you, who will be there for you, who will have your back, especially if you haven't come out yet, if you haven't talked to your family, anything like that. Just know it's very cliche to say, but one day at a time. I recently I started living my life like that, just one day at a time, and just taking things like that. And just know that, just focus on today, getting through today. Tomorrow the sun will rise, everything will be better, and sooner or later, before you know it, 6 months has gone by and you've accomplished so much more than you had 6 months prior. So, and also my DMs are always open to anyone, whoever needs to talk. Any moment I see your message and I'm free, I'll get back to you as soon as I can.
Hi, I'm Sophie Ross. Welcome to the Sarah O'Connell Show. In honor of International Transgender Day of Visibility 2021, And with hate crimes against transgender folks on the rise and at an all-time high, it is more important than ever for us to be standing up for and showing our support for the transgender community. And I am so proud to call myself an ally to the transgender community. I am so inspired by anyone who is brave enough to be their authentic selves in a world that is not yet accepting of that in the society that we currently live in. So let's work together and make this society in this world what we want it to be, and that's one that, you know, treats trans folks how they deserve to be treated, and that is with equity and respect and everything that our trans brothers, sisters, non-binary folks deserve. I'm so proud of you. If you are trans and you're watching this, I'm so proud. I'm so inspired by you, and I love you, and I promise to show up for you 365 days a year and not just on March 31st.
Hi, I'm Natalia Reagan, and welcome to the Sarah O'Connell Show. I'm an anthropologist, a comedian, a human, strangely not a drummer, but I'm also a trans ally, and I know how important it is to support and celebrate the Trans Day of Visibility. As an anthropologist, I know that gender is a social construct and is definitely not binary, definitely. And I know how important it is to teach that to the public in hopes to promote tolerance and understanding, because a lot of the hate and transphobia we see out there stems from fear of the unknown, and we know that there's nothing to be afraid of. As a comedian, I don't want to see my trans friends be the punchline or the butt of somebody's joke. Another reason to be an ally and be visible and out there. And as a human, I know that trans rights are human rights. I mean, end of story. And sadly, last year we saw a rise in the disproportionately high number of murders of trans and non-gender conforming individuals. So that is exactly why it's the right thing to do to be a trans ally. If you have a heart, if you have empathy, come on, be a trans ally. It's the right thing to do. In fact, Terry the farting pterodactyl would want that. Right, Terry? Yes. I'm not a very good ventriloquist. Anyways, thank you, Sarah, for doing this, and happy Trans Day of Visibility. Happy Trans Day of Visibility. Happy Trans Day of Visibility. Yes.
Hi, I'm James III. Welcome to the Sarah O'Connell Show. As a trans ally, I'm down for people who's trying to do whatever they're trying to do to be who they are. Okay? Be their authentic, true selves. Now, there's some people might be saying, I'm authentically against trans people. And to that I say, fuck off. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Cindy Barshop. Welcome to the Sarah O'Connell Show. And I just wanted to bring out that everybody should be a trans supporter. As a mom, the one thing I want everybody to know is that trans is an identity. It's not a sexuality. Please spread the word. Peace out.
Hi, I'm Sophia Gad-Nasser, and welcome to the Sarah O'Connell Show. I'm a PhD candidate in cosmology at the University of California in Irvine. I'm also a really avid science communicator, so you might know me on social media. It is crucial to support our trans community, who have been historically marginalized and abused and harassed simply for being themselves. So I wanted to send out my message of solidarity to all my trans friends, and not just on Trans Day of Visibility, but every single day. Don't ever stop being your beautiful and fabulous selves. Sending love.
Hi, I'm David Weissman, and welcome to the Sarah O'Connell Show. As a trans ally, I think it's important to be an ally because they need to know that they are valued as human beings that they are. Trans rights are human rights.
Hi, I'm Callie Beaton, and welcome to the Sarah O'Connell Show.
I wanted to say a few words, partly because I love Sarah, who doesn't, but partly because I wanted to talk about why I am proud to be a trans ally. And I can probably best illustrate it by a quick story about belonging from my own childhood. So as a little girl, I was ginger, as you can see. I was very overweight. I had these industrial strength glasses, and I had corrective footwear because I was knock-kneed. I looked like a sort of curious devil child of Ed Sheeran and Matt Lucas. That was my particular look as a little schoolgirl. And as if that wasn't bad enough, both my parents were teachers, and they decided to send me to the school where they both taught. You'll imagine that was a real recipe for blending right in, particularly because, you see, my parents happened to teach in an all-boys school. I was going to let that information sink in. Now, that's not fake news. That really happened. There were 200 boys in that school. I was the only girl. And the bullying wasn't too bad, but I'll tell you what wasn't great was the day when I got to hear that I hadn't got the female lead in the school play. Now, you may be laughing more than I did about that, but what I would say on a note of momentary seriousness is I wish I'd known then what I know now, which is it's so important not to be a bystander, but to be an upstander and to actually dare as an ally to stand up for and speak out for people who need our voices to add to the choir. So I'm proud to be a trans ally. And what I would say is that we all need to educate ourselves, be kind, and seek out difference. Let's get comfortable with being uncomfortable. That's it from me. Love you, Sarah. Thanks for asking me to be a part of your wonderful show.
Hi, I'm Amazon Letty, and welcome to the Sarah O'Connell Show. As an ally and an advocate to the trans community, I believe that sport should be welcoming for everyone, and no child should be denied the right to thrive through sports, regardless of their sexuality or their gender identity. And on Trans Visibility Day, it's so important that you're an ally and an advocate, because no person, regardless of their gender identity or expression, should live in a world where they fear discrimination or violence because of who they are.
Hi, I'm Melissa Anelli, and welcome to the Sarah O'Connell Show. I just want to send a big message of love and support to my friends in the trans community. You are wanted, you are welcome, and you are beautiful just as you are. It's important to be an ally for so many reasons, but we're never going to get equality for anyone until we get equality for everyone. So we're going to keep trying to ally, keep doing our best, keep messing up, keep learning, and then keep trying again, because that's the only way it's going to happen, right? I'm here with you in this fight.
Thank you to all of my amazing guests and to everyone watching. Be sure to share, subscribe, give this video a big thumbs up and leave lots of lovely comments. I will see you all again soon for another episode of the Sarah O'Connell Show. Bye.